society trendy by using popular artists and use the rappers to promote prescription pills to the audience. They created the problem to sell you pills that would solve them. It's brilliant.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard him say. They used to heed the words he said, but that was yesterday. Gold will turn to gray, and youth will fade away. They'll never care about you, call you holding in the way.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm actually featuring two different artists. One of them is the lady on your screen. She goes by the stage name Jeirra, Jeirra. She came to my attention through the other gentleman on the screen, who you should probably recognize, Dr. Peter McCullough. Probably the foremost freedom fighter in the world as far as resisting the encroachment on medical freedom. He has a very interesting substack, which I subscribe to and I highly recommend. And in addition to his scientific background, he also tries to keep up culturally with those who are in the freedom fight. I want to play a little bit of this interview. Jeirra is a performer, but she was also for a short time a music industry insider, and that was a very depressing part of her life, and she eventually had to leave that when she figured out what was really going on in the music industry, as she will explain. After listening to what she had to say, it reminded me very much of a Tom MacDonald song from 4 years ago called Sad Rappers. He pretty much says the same thing as what she's going to say in this interview. So I'm going to then go from this interview to a reaction to Tom MacDonald's Sad Rappers. And at the very end, I will put in the song that Jeirra has written in honor of Dr. Peter McCullough.
With a wonderful opportunity to be 50% owner and basically creator of an actual recording, a record label. That for the first time, just beyond being just an artist, I was learning a lot, and I was going to have to be responsible for the investment money. I was going to be responsible for how the investors were going to get paid back. And I really started looking and asking questions, and that whole experience started to pry my eyes open in a way that was very uncomfortable, because the truth is, adding up the amount of money that was going to have to be spent to really make a successful artist, and I'm talking top 40 on the radio, Billboard charting, Grammys, all of that, the millions and millions and millions of dollars to basically pay and payola for some things that is actually illegal. It is against SEC regulations, but everybody does it.
She explains in another part of the interview that the record companies don't pay the radio stations directly, but they figure a workaround and have a middleman who will basically transfer the bribe money. Everyone does it. So that's how your hit-making machinery behind the scenes really works, is it's pay to play.
Illegal. It is against SEC regulations, but everybody does it. And that wasn't sitting well with me. And also just trying to add up, well, there's this much money coming out and people are not buying music anymore. They're streaming it, which is a very tiny percentage of money. The labels are paying for the streaming. They're paying for the radio. They're paying for this. They're paying for that. Where on earth are they making the money back? And the truth is, I could not answer the question.
Yeah, where is the money coming from for these big hits that turn out to be big flops? We see it also in the movie industry. Hollywood continues to turn out mega budget so-called hits that nobody really wants to watch. But are they doing it for the political impact of being woke and spreading their message, or are they actually in the movie business?
Life-altering moment for me. This was through 2019 into 2020. The world shut down, everything went on a pause, but it gave me a moment to actually really start looking and digging. And the truth is, in my own opinion, without solid, banking statistics that I can give, I will say that I couldn't add up how the music labels were staying financially solvent. And it led me to start believing that perhaps they are being funded by outside sources which have nothing to do with music or the entertainment industry.
Wow.
And that was a very heartbreaking realization for me. And I did my own research as much as I could. It was very hard to find things online. I spoke with a lot of people. I did start digging into financial connections with my industry, and I was very shocked to find, for example, that pharmaceutical companies were heavily involved in the investment of quite a few things, and they were very tied in, and amongst other things. And I started really looking at that going, there's something else going on here, I think. And just adding up the messaging of every single top 40 artist, the song portraying their messaging on social media, obviously, and looking at if it's possible that this is being funded by something else, then wouldn't they select certain messaging? Wouldn't they select certain artists? And would they be paying for a message which basically suits them?
That all seems very logical, and it's something that, as I said, Tom MacDonald pointed out 4 years ago in his 2019 song Sad Rappers, which we will take a look at. I am very happy that Tom came on Facebook yesterday and announced that he realizes that it's been 3 months since his last video came out, but that he's working on something very, very big and that it's going to be coming out soon. So we certainly can't wait for that.
Where'd all these suicidal sad rappers come from? They showed up with those mumble rapper dum-dums. They've been preying on people with mental illness and pretending to relate to get paid in creative business. They claim to be anxious, say they're depressed. They're faking it to gain something in common with some fans for a check. It's overdiagnosed, so it's becoming a trend to say you're crazy or insane or that you're sick in the head. They romanticize the mental pain we're barely surviving, and then they glorify the men and women losing their lives. I'm talking Cobain, Lil Peep, Winehouse, Jackson, Williams, Cornell, Bennington. Imagine all the icons that we buried, probably turning in their graves so they can witness how the sickness getting used to get paid. These rappers fabricating symptoms for fame. Their mental illness is the money on their mind that started rotting their brains, yeah.
I'm not a big enough rap fan to confirm what he's talking about, that there are rappers out there who are purposely trying to connect up with people that suffer from various types of mental illness by pretending to have the symptoms themselves. That's his basic allegation, although I will cite no less a sort than No Life Shack, who reacted to this song and said it's absolutely 100% true. So that's a pretty good source.
Fabricating symptoms for fame. Their mental illness is the money on their mind that started rotting their brains, yeah. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes. All lies, y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us. Don't feel the love, nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe, you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah. People die from depression, these rappers cry for attention, and it's in every single genre you could possibly mention. From pop to electronic to rock to indie to grunge, they're trying to hook you into using the music like it's a drug, get you addicted to artists they manufacture to target all other people in therapy trying to deal with their hardships. Crafted and marketed till they had you convinced that if you follow that person they make you fine in your skin. They ain't really trying to help you, they don't want to make you better. It's a lie they're trying to sell you, so you always buy the records. If you want to know the truth, they want you struggling forever, so you look to them for answers with your Visa or your debit. It's like the record labels working for Pharma. They made anxiety trendy by using popular artists and used the rappers to promote prescription pills to the audience. They created the problem to sell you pills that would solve them. It's brilliant.
There it is, right there. That whole line bears repeating, but it's a pretty simple concept. They use the popular artist, and he says it's in every genre, not just hip-hop. They use the popular artist to connect with the people with mental illness, and then they promote the pharmaceuticals to cure the problems that they're helping to create. Let's just run that back one time and let them say it again.
The truth, they want you struggling forever, so you look to them for answers with your Visa or your debit. It's like the record labels working for Pharma. They made anxiety trendy by using popular artists and used the rappers to promote prescription pills to the audience. They created the problem to sell you pills that would solve them. It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. And I got to admit, when I first saw this song a number of years ago, I thought, Well, it's an interesting theory, but no, Big Pharma wouldn't do that, would they? And then in the last 3 years, we've seen just exactly what lengths that Big Pharma will go to get control of people's minds and bodies. And I don't know if my commentary on this and the First Lady will stand up to the YouTube beauty standards, but hey, it's worth a try. And if not, we'll put it on Rumble.
Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah.
Tom is coming at this from the point of view of a person who really did have some mental health issues, including anxiety. And he's saying, you're not real, you rappers that pretend to have these symptoms. You can't pretend to be the same as me and the others like me who really do have these issues. You're just exploiting that to try to make money. But I've lived it, and so I know the difference.
Y'all just make believe you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah. Exploiting our problems to benefit. They just wanna get paid. I spend all my money on medicine. Spend all your money on chains. Y'all just exploiting the misery. Popping Xannies to fade. Well, I'm throwing ones into therapy. Cause all I know is rain. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah.
Wow, very moving video with those folks surrounding Tom who, if they're not actors, they're people with real mental health issues. They certainly look real. Obviously, he is taking aim more at the hip-hop culture. Of course, that's the culture that does push the pills more than any other, the Xanax and the other pills that they want you to take. Is there a real connection? Does Big Pharma actually put money into these music and films and other cultural phenomena? I wouldn't doubt in the least. It's good for business. We used to say, what's good for General Motors is good for the country. Now I think they say what's good for Big Pharma is good for the country, but is it really? If we're just encouraging mental illness, probably not. I'm going to show you a little bit of Jeirra's song that she wrote for Dr. Peter McCullough. And this is a portion that she actually sang for the doctor at the end of this interview. It's a little easier to follow because she kind of cites the words.
We shut it out, didn't give out attention. We turned around, we left our house defenseless. And all along, the ones we thought protect us, oh, we found out they really are against us. So that's pretty hardcore. And then, what are we all waiting for? The enemy's at our door, and we can no longer afford to let our freedom be ignored. And then the giant chorus, left, right, yes, we are prepared to fight. Everybody fall in line, now you hear the battle cry. Left, right, yes, we are prepared to fight. Everybody fall in line, now you hear the battle cry.
Are you ready to fight? I'm pretty much there. We really need to stop this pervasive influence on our culture that's destroying everything good about our country. And I salute these two freedom fighters, Jeirra and Dr. Peter McCullough, leading the way.